In last class we studied SCR characteristics, forward blocking mode, forward conduction mode and reverse blocking mode without applying gate as well as after applying a gate pulse. In this class we study gate characteristics of SCR. So this is the gate circuit through which we are giving gate pulses to the SCR. So this is the supply voltage source from which we are giving us pulses to or triggering pulses to a SCR. So like how we drawed already SCR characteristics, that is with respect to anode current and voltage across the SCR. Similarly here also the graph on y-axis we have that is on y-axis the gate voltage Vg and on x-axis the gate current Ig. So here also the same thing. With respect to gate voltage and gate current we are drawing the characteristics of gate. So if we operate a SCR at maximum temperature, then the amount of a voltage required to reach the maximum value is minimum, that is like this. So this is at maximum temperature. So what it says, when we operate the SCR at higher temperature, the amount of voltage, that is on y-axis, if you refer, on y-axis we have a smaller amount of voltage, but current reaches to a maximum value, that is Ig value is more for a smaller amount of voltage. So similarly, if we operate the SCR at a minimum temperature, then maximum value of a voltage is required to a maximum value of current. See, so this is the maximum current and here also the maximum current. Now to reach this maximum current, we have to give a more voltage. That is, this is at minimum temperature. So this is at maximum temperature and this one is at minimum temperature. If we know the value of maximum current at minimum voltage as well as a maximum voltage at minimum temperature, then we can calculate the maximum power dissipation in SCR. That is, this curve. So this is maximum power dissipation in SCR. So what it says, if a SCR is operated above this curve, then it will go into damage. So it should be operated within this curve only for a safe operation. So the maximum power dissipation can take place. It should be that's a maximum power dissipation. So in order to operate in a safer region, we need to operate below this curve only, because we know the maximum current as well as the maximum voltage. So this is the maximum power dissipation that we can draw in characteristics of SCR. So if we have a maximum power dissipation, similarly there will be a minimum power that can be applied to turn on the SCR. So this curve we represented it as a minimum power. So as we know the maximum power dissipation, so the current with respect to this one will be Ig, maximum current, and with respect to this one, if we draw the straight line, so this is the maximum Vg max is the maximum voltage that we can apply on a SCR. Similarly, minimum Pg is over here. So with respect to this is Ig minimum current that we can apply on SCR. Similarly, on a y-axis we have a Vg minimum. So this is the maximum as well as a minimum current that we can apply on SCR. Below this it won't operate. Below this Ig minimum the SCR won't operate, and above this Ig max the SCR will damage. So safer operation limit will be within this two range. Now consider a point A over here. So if we operate SCR in this region, then it won't turn on, because the minimum as well as the maximum value within which we need to apply the gate voltage as well as a gate current should be within this range. That is, so we call this as a safe operating region of SCR. So if we provide the voltage which is above this VG minimum and below this VG maximum, then it is going to operate safely. So if we apply this much of voltage and this much of current, then it won't turn on, because that is below this IG minimum as well as a VG minimum, so it won't turn on. So let me call this VG minimum as a L and IG minimum as a V and IG max as a Q. So you can refer textbook, the terminologies which they provided in textbook. The same thing I am using here, P. So I call this as a P. So these are the permissible values with which we can apply to a SCR for a safe operating, proper operation of SCR. So if the values are below as well as above the IG max as well as a VG max, it won't turn on, it will damage. Now the next concept is load line. That is, if we want to find out the operating points, perfect operating points for SCR, that is a load line concept. So as we know, the SCR is made up of a 4-layer. So the gate pulse is applied if PN junction. So the gate pulse is applied below, that is over here. So it's a 4-layer device, PN. So here we are applying a gate over here. This is anode and this is cathode and this is gate. So it acts like a diode itself. So the concept of finding the operating point or the load line for this particular graph is same as which we considered in case of a diode. So VGS, which is equals to what we can VGS as a VGS is equals to IG RG plus VG. If you apply a KVL to the particular loop, so VGS is equals to IG RG plus VG. So if you put IG is equals to 0 in the above equation, if I put IG is equals to 0, so if we apply KVL to this particular loop, what will be the answer? VGS is equals to IG RG plus VG, that is the voltage here. Now we need to find the load points, that's the operating point. If you put IG is equals to 0 in this above equation, what will happen? VGS will be equals to VG. So in a graph, consider the point which is above here. Call this as a point H. Where? So here VGS is equals to VG is equals to VGS. Call this as a point H. Now, if you put VG is equals to 0 in the same equation, if you put VG is equals to 0 in the above equation, then IG is equals to VGS by RG. VGS by RG is equals to IG. So that point will come around here. So call this as a point D. So if we join these two lines, that will be the load line for the particular SCR. So this is our load line. So the operating point, the best operating point, if we consider this as a best operating point, the maximum as well as the minimum operating point, best operating point will be somewhere around here, S1 and S2. So in order to operate the SCR, the operating points properly, if you want to operate the SCR, then operating point should be within this range, within S1 as well as S2. So if we consider S as the best operating point, so it should be within these two, maximum temperature as well as a minimum temperature curve. So this concept is from the diode concept. Also how we draw the load characteristics for a diode, the same thing by applying a KVL to the circuit, by putting the IG value as well as the VG value 0, we obtain the load curve. So this is the best operating points for SCR. Now the value of this RG, resistance. How we need to select the value of RG in order to properly operate the SCR. The value of RG is based on this load curve itself. The maximum value of this resistance is given by the line HE, that is over here, HE. So I call this as the E, where E is a point of intersection of a line indicating the minimum gate voltage and the gate current. The intersection where we are getting the VG minimum as well as the IG minimum, if I join this H and E, so this will be the RG maximum value. In order to calculate the value of RG maximum value, if we join H and E, where E is the point of intersection of a VG minimum and IG minimum, so this is the maximum value of RG that we can apply on this particular circuit. Then minimum value is by drawing a tangent line to this curve. Suppose you call this as a tangent line, then the point I call this as a C. So this is the range, that is HE and HC. The two range within between that only we need to apply the value of resistance for a safe operation of SCR. Now we calculated the value of RG as well as the voltage VG and the power within which we need to operate the SCR. Now this is the total time period and the pulse width with respect to time t, and this is the IG current, that is the gate current. We know in case of SCR, higher the magnitude of a gate current, then it is lesser the time required to turn on the SCR. That is, in case of a static characteristics of SCR, we studied one thing in a graph. As we keep on increasing the gate current, then the voltage required to turn on the SCR is less. Similarly here, so the gate pulse which is required is, if it is more, that is the gate current is more, then it will take a lesser time to turn on the SCR. For that reason we can write that pulse period should be greater than the turn on time of a SCR. With pulse firing, if the frequency of the firing F is known, then a peak instantaneous gate power, that is a PG max. That is PG max. PG max is because of this VG as well as the current IG which is flowing in this circuit. So I can write PG max as a VG IG, or I can take this PG, that is VG IG. V into I is nothing but a power. The maximum power dissipation we are calculating, that is the dissipation is because of this IG as well as a VG. So I can write a VG as IG as a PG average also. So if I am taking a PG average, then I need to use the frequency as well as a pulse width in the denominator, where F is nothing but a 1 by T1. That is a total time period. That is one cycle time period. And the T is the pulse width. This is a pulse width. If I want to take an average value, then I have to use a frequency as well as the pulse width of the particular pulse. Then one more term we know, that is a duty cycle, delta. The duty cycle delta is nothing but a the on time to the total time is nothing but a duty cycle of the SCR. 1 by T1, which is nothing but a F into T. So I can rewrite this in equation PG max. So PG max is equals to PG average divided by delta. PG average divided by delta. So this value should be lesser than as well as equal to PG max.